Hi, this is Tony Jones from Idissectmusic. I want to teach you 3 additional chords here. I want to teach you the 6th chord, the major 7th, and the dominant 7th in every key. If you go to a previous tutorial of mine, I taught you how to play your major, minor, diminished chords in every key. I believe it's suspended also, but I got to go back and check. But if you know your major chords, if you do not know your major chords, please go back and use that video as a reference. But here's a trick I'm going to show you. But in the key of C, your scale, major scale goes as follows. Your major chord is 1, 3, 5 out that scale, played simultaneously. That's your major chord. C, E, G. A 6th chord is 1, 3, 5, and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the A in this case in the key of C. So you play your C, 1, E, your G, and your A. There's your 6th chord. So you say, well, how can you learn it in an easier manner? The key is if you know your major chord is C, E, G. As long as you know your major chords in every key, it will be easy for you to find the 6th chord. The 6th chord is simple. You're going a whole step. There always will be a whole step higher or to the right of your 5. And a whole step means 2 half steps. 2 half steps. Half step is the very next note. Very next note can be a black key or a white key. So I'll give you very next notes, which is single half steps to the right. Very next note. Very next note going to the right is here. Very next note. Very next note. It's not here, it's here. So if I'm here, half step is the very next note, but 2 half steps. So 1, 2. There's your A, which makes it a C6 chord. Now, as long as I know my major chords, I can find my 6th chord in any key. If I know my D, major chord D, F sharp, and a whole step forward from the A, which is your 5, 1, 2. Is the B. There's 2 half steps. Always a whole step from the 5. So there's your 6th chord. So C6, D6, E. 6th chord is 1, 2. It'll be your C sharp. So got a little funny sound. Later on I'll show you how to apply these chords. Here's an F major chord. Whole step from the 5, which is the C, 1, 2. That'll be your D. And I'm just going to go through them. G chord. Whole step from the D, 1, 2. E. E6, sorry. E6, F6, G6. How about the A6? Whole step, 1, 2. Don't skip. 2 half steps. 1, 2. It'll be your F sharp. And let's do the B while we're down here. Whole step from your F sharp. 1, 2. Now you say I'm going through that pretty fast, but the key to you learning these is knowing your major chords. If you do not know your major chords, please go back to a previous my previous tutorial on learning your major chords in every key. So here's the C6, D6, E6, F6, G6, A6, B6. We call these flats as sharps, but for now I'll call them flats. D flat major chord. The 6th chord is always a whole step from your 5. I don't care how it looks. 1, 2. There's your D flat 6. E flat 6. 1, 2. G flat 6. Here's your G flat chord or F sharp chord. A 6th chord will be a whole step from your 5. 1, 2. A flat 6. 1, 2. B flat 6. 1, 2. So I just played your 6 chords in every key. C6, D, E, F, G, A, B, D flat, E flat, F sharp or G flat, A flat, B flat. Okay, let's learn 2 more chords. The major seventh. You say, what is the major seventh? If I'm back in the key of C. The key to this is knowing your major chord. This is your foundation. But the major scale goes as follows once again. The C chord is, major chord is there. But a major seventh is 1, 3, 5, and 7 out of your scale. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 is your B in this case. So you'll get a nice lush sound. But you say, how can I find that without going through the scale? The key is knowing your major chord. The root here is your C. Whatever's a half step back from your root, or your 8, half step back from C is what? One note back is what? B. So you can play it here if you like. So it gives you a different sound. But here's the, if you know that a half step back from C is B, there's your major 7. If I know my major chord D, I always will play the major, but the major 7 is a half step back from the root, which is D, C sharp. Same with E. Half step back from E is D sharp. Half step back from F is E. Half step back from G, one note back, is F sharp. Half step back from A is G sharp. Half step back from B is your A sharp or B flat. So this is the sound you get of major 7s. So it just gives you a whole different sound. It's got a flavor to it. It's pretty nice. D flat, once you know the major chord, a half step back from your root or your 8. 8 and the root will always be the same. Half step back down is your C. E flat, half step back down is your D. A half step down from your F sharp is your F. There's your F sharp major 7. A half step down from your A flat as you're playing your A flat major chord to make it a major 7 is your G. A flat major 7. And then here's your B flat. Half step down from B flat is A. So I'll play them all. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. C sharp or D flat, E flat, F sharp, A flat, B flat. Okay, so we learned the 6th chord and the major 7. Let's learn one more, which is called a dominant 7. You use that a lot in gospel. Gives you that sound. Gives you that dominant sound. So you say, what is that? If I'm going through my scale again, it's 1, 3, 5. There's your major chord once again. 7 flat. So you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Flat to 7 means go a half step or one note back. So a half step from the 7th, which is the B, will be B flat. There's your C7. C, E, G, B flat. So real quick, to show you a trick to finding that real fast, we found out that a major 7 is a half step back from your root or your 8. There's your major 7. A dominant 7 is a whole step back from your 1 or your 8 or your root. So 1, 2, which is 2 half steps back, is a whole step. So not the B, but B flat. There's your C dominant 7. If I'm here D, a whole step back from D, 1, 2 is C. Here's E, a whole step back from E, 1, 2 is your D. Here's F. To make it an F dominant 7, a whole step back from F is your E flat, 1, 2. So you can play them. We'll teach you in versions of them, but you get the gist now of the root of it. Here's the G. Whole step back, 1, 2. There's your F. A. Whole step back is your 1, 2, which will be your G. B. A B dominant 7, whole step back from B, 1, 2, A. D flat chord, a whole step back from D flat, which will make it a dominant 7, C, B. See that? There's your 2 half steps. E flat. Whole step back from E flat. 1, 2. There's your C sharp. There's the next to the E flat dominant 7. F sharp dominant 7. Whole step back. 1, 2. E. A flat dominant 7. Whole step back. 1, 2. There's your F sharp. B flat dominant 7. Whole step back. 1, 2. A flat. Okay, so I just played dominant 7s in every key. Now here's a trick. If you want to practice the 6, major 7, and dominant 7, you can play them as follows. C chord, whole step back from the C will be, whole step forward rather, will make it the 6th chord. Back to the C. Major 7 is a half step back, which is the B. And then the dominant 7 is a whole step back, but you already hear a half step back, so go 1 down, make it a whole step back. So C, 6, C, major 7, dominant 7. D, D6, whole step forward. Back to the D. Major 7, half step back. If you want to, let's go back to D. Dominant 7, whole step back. 1, 2. So we're going to play that in every key. C, C6, back to C, C major 7, C dominant 7, D, D6, D, D major 7, D dominant 7, E, E6, back to the E, E major 7, E dominant 7, F, F6, back to the F, F major 7, F dominant 7, G, G major 7, G, G, G6, back to G, G dominant, G major 7, G dominant 7, A, A6, back to A major 7, A dominant 7, B, B6, back to B, B major 7, B dominant 7, D flat, D flat 6, back to D flat major 7, D flat dominant 7, E flat 6 is E flat major 7, E flat dominant 7, G flat 6, G flat major 7, G flat dominant 7, A flat 6, A flat major 7, A flat dominant 7. One more, B flat 6, B flat major 7, B flat dominant 7. Now you just learned what, 12, 24, 36 more chords to add to your repertoire. Learn these chords for now, and we'll show you how to apply them. But the key is learning your major, minor, diminished. The key, your foundation chord will always be your major chord, because what I teach is everything will come from this chord here, which is your major chord. So learn those chords, and then we'll go forward from there. Be blessed.